Uh, well, Shabbat Shalom. I don't know about you, but my thoughts are often in Israel and saddened, just horrified by what has been taking place the last couple of weeks. Everything I read comes through a filter of what is taking place, whether it's watching the news or getting upset about the disinformation that is being disseminated about what takes place. Even as I study Jewish text, my mind filters it through what's taking place. Well, in this week's portion, the Torah portion of Noah, I don't have to have a filter to think of what's taking place. In the third verse of our portion, it reads, I'm going to read for you, V'tishachet ha'aretz ifnei ha'Elohim, v'timaleh ha'aretz Hamas. That's right. The word Hamas is found in the beginning of our Torah portion. The translation, the earth became corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with Hamas. Now, what does Hamas mean? In some translations, the English will indicate it as lawlessness or violence. And the rabbis have struggled throughout the generations to understand what Hamas could be. What depravity could it represent so bad that the world had to be destroyed, that the flood had to come and to begin society all over again? Well, throughout the centuries, the rabbis imagined all kinds of heinous acts that could be committed against people that might be considered Hamas. Unfortunately, some of those acts were committed against Israelis during the last 2 weeks. Normally, when I read this text and I study it, it doesn't matter to me whether we translate it as violence or lawlessness, but this year it does. I understand those translations that translate Hamas as lawlessness because it fits within the theme of the Torah and the beginning verses of Genesis, in which before the flood, there are no laws, and so there's lawlessness. After the flood, humanity is given the 7 laws of Noah to create social order, to create civility. So I understand that translation. But is lawlessness a reason to destroy the earth? So in fact, for me, understanding it as violence, a violence so awful that corrective measures actually won't work. That the only way to deal with this is to eradicate that evil and to start over again. When it comes to the story of the flood and the events in Gaza, we're challenged by the idea of what takes place to innocents. We know that the evil must be eradicated, and we struggle in that moral dilemma. But that's the Jewish way. And to do otherwise means to lose our humanity, the very thing that was lost before the flood. And we had to begin all over again. The story of the flood presents us with a challenge and the understanding that evil, when it is unabated, when it is not dealt with, runs a very real risk of impacting and infecting all of society. So I think about the flood, as I think about what's taking place in Israel, it's with a heavy heart. On this Shabbat, as I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, it's with a prayer that one day that we will be able to have peace, that there will be peace. Shabbat Shalom.